Get ready for the biggest stories hitting the wire. We start with the Chicagoland data center boom, where Fox Chicago's Brett Bugansky dives deep into the serious questions surrounding Lake Michigan water use. Residents and farmers are sounding the alarm about how this massive development is impacting our shared water resources, and we're uncovering the critical details about the future of this vital Great Lake. Next up, we look at the landscape across the East Coast. And finally, we examine the implications of this massive merger. This $67 billion Dominion-NextEra deal could completely reshape Northern Virginia's data center economy, and we look at the tariffs and plans for transmission lines that will define the future of power and data in the region. Don't miss the full story. Subscribe now and stay connected. Noi Dung Kai Tight. A growing data center boom across Chicagoland is intensifying concerns among residents and farmers regarding the sustainability of Lake Michigan's water resources. The expansion of these facilities has brought water usage into sharp focus, prompting discussions about potential impacts on the Great Lake and local water supplies. /N/N Jeremy Biarzicki, a Joliet resident, expressed worry over the state of Lake Michigan, citing low ice pack levels and questioning the future of the Great Lake amid the data center development. He questioned what would happen to the water source as numerous data centers are planned across Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, and Michigan. /N in Joliet, the local aquifer, the city's primary water source, is projected to become unsustainable, with a planned switch to Lake Michigan water by 2030. This transition involves the formation of the Grand Prairie Water Commission to purchase treated lake water from Chicago and deliver it via a $1.5 billion pipeline. /N Joel Bramier, president and CEO of the Alliance for the Great Lakes, downplayed the immediate threat to Lake Michigan levels, emphasizing that the primary concern in Illinois is adherence to the Lake Michigan Diversion Consent Decree, a 1967 Supreme Court ruling limiting water diversion into the Mississippi River Basin. /N Robert Hirschfeld, Director of Water Policy at Prairie Rivers Network, provided historical context, noting the decree stems from early 20th century water disputes involving Chicago's wastewater. The decree currently allows Illinois to divert just over 2 billion gallons daily. /N experts warn that the combined water demands from data centers, farms, and residential users can create conflicts, potentially straining groundwater supplies. Philip Nelson, president of the Illinois Farm Bureau, highlighted that local concerns about data center water use are driving infrastructure projects like the Joliet pipeline, fearing aquifer depletion. /N broader regional analysis reveals that 40% to 75% of Great Lakes states rely on groundwater, with existing conflicts already noted in states like Michigan and Wisconsin. Furthermore, studies indicate that compaction is causing cities like Chicago, Columbus, and Detroit to sink by up to 2 millimeters annually, threatening infrastructure. /N Nora Beck, a policy analyst with the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, noted that while overall water use is projected to decline, high water use industries like data centers and climate change present significant uncertainties that require proactive planning. /N to better manage this, Fox Chicago has sought detailed data on data center water consumption and cooling technologies, as these are currently not mandated to report usage. Hirschfeld stressed the lack of enforcement for existing reporting requirements under the Illinois Water Inventory Program, IWIP. /N/N regarding future governance, activists and agricultural groups are pushing for stronger regulations. The Illinois Farm Bureau has developed guidelines for data center siting, emphasizing stewardship of farmland. Biarzicki concluded that without smarter upfront planning regarding water use calculations, data centers are likely to prevail over local community concerns. /N/N, the Illinois Department of Natural Resources confirmed that while they enforce allocation through permits, the system lacks a market mechanism to prioritize water use, leaving resource allocation vulnerable to conflict. The debate now centers on establishing robust permitting and reporting systems to govern industrial water use before conflicts escalate. Data centers, particularly those powering the rapidly expanding artificial intelligence sector, are facing unprecedented power challenges, forcing a strategic shift from traditional reliance on utility grids to on-site power generation and self-sufficiency. The critical nature of AI workloads leaves zero tolerance for downtime, driving developers to prioritize power availability over traditional site selection factors like proximity to major metropolitan areas. Analysts indicate a significant gap between current utility capacity and data center demand. Vlad Galibov of Omdia estimates that over 35 gigawatts of data center power are likely to become self-generated by 2030. This demand is escalating. While data centers accounted for about 4% of U.S. electricity demand in 2023, projections suggest they could reach 12% by 2028, with some regions already seeing up to 25% of electricity dedicated to these facilities. The constraint is severe. Developers report that while they anticipate a 1 to 2 year timeline for power delivery, utilities often cite 3 to 5 years for new facility interconnection, with some projects finding no power available at all. Boston Consulting Group estimates the power shortage for data centers in the U.S. could exceed 45 gigawatts, with over 12,000 active interconnection projects currently seeking grid access. Consequently, power availability has become the paramount factor in site selection, often outweighing geographic advantages. Bill Clayman of the 2025 State of the Data Center report identifies power as the #1 constraint, citing advantages of on-site generation, including bypassing grid congestion, avoiding transmission losses, and accelerating time to market. To address this, the industry is rapidly adopting alternative power solutions. While uninterruptible power supplies, UPS, offer millisecond-level backup power to bridge short outages, the long-term solution involves dedicated power infrastructure. 27% of data centers are expected to rely entirely on on-site generation for primary power by 2030. Backup generators, often diesel-based, are increasingly being positioned not just as emergency backups, but as prime power sources, sometimes operating as fully independent power plants. Companies like Wärtsilä Energy are supplying large engines to operate new data centers directly on natural gas, emphasizing the need for quick access, high reliability, and fuel efficiency. Furthermore, technological enhancements are improving generator utility. Innovations such as synchronous self-shifting, SSS, clutches allow generators to switch between power production and ancillary grid services, such as inertia and voltage control, effectively giving the investment a dual purpose. Other solutions involve integrating generator systems with UPS to filter out power quality disturbances like voltage sags and harmonic distortion. Data center developers are urging a paradigm shift, advocating for a power-first design and abandoning conventional site selection, recognizing that grid constraints imposed by overbuilt metropolitan areas are significantly delaying deployment. The prevailing sentiment among builders is clear. Time to power wins, as the intense demand for AI services is compelling builders to secure immediate, reliable energy solutions, even if it means establishing independent power infrastructure. NextEra Energy has announced a significant strategic move, agreeing to acquire Dominion Energy in an all-stock transaction. This merger is poised to create one of the world's largest regulated utilities and establish a major electricity provider specifically catering to the burgeoning demand from AI data centers. The transaction follows recent market activity, with NextEra stock breaching a key support level, while Dominion attempted to surpass a predetermined buy point. The newly combined entity will possess an extensive customer base, serving approximately 10 million utility accounts across key regions including Florida and Virginia, signaling a major consolidation in the energy sector, driven by the needs of the artificial intelligence industry. Virginia's Dominion Energy has agreed to be sold for $67 billion to Florida's NextEra Energy in an all-stock transaction, a move poised to significantly reshape the state's data center economy and the financing of electricity for large energy consumers. The combined entity could become the world's largest regulated electric utility, providing power to 3.6 million homes and businesses across Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. The merger is significant because the resulting company would house 130 gigawatts of power, exceeding 10% of all U.S. electric utility capacity. NextEra Energy stated that this scale will drive capital and operating efficiencies, leading to more affordable electricity in the long term. Northern Virginia's Data Center Alley is a critical area of impact, currently housing around 603 data centers, with more than half located in Loudoun and Prince William counties. Plans for 84 new buildings are underway in Loudoun alone. In response to calls for large energy users to bear greater responsibility, NextEra and Dominion announced that large load customers, such as data centers, would pay a fair share for energy generation through specialized large load tariffs. This addresses previous legislative discussions in Virginia regarding data centers covering grid electricity costs, though regulators will now oversee these costs. Following the announcement, NextEra Energy's stock declined while Dominion surged. Beyond the merger, Dominion is collaborating with grid operator PJM on transmission line projects across Virginia, West Virginia, and Maryland, alongside ongoing renewable initiatives in battery storage and solar. Dominion also plans to bring a new natural gas plant online in Cumberland County by 2034, which is slated to provide 3 gigawatts of power. As part of the deal, NextEra plans to offer $2.25 billion in bill credits, distributed over 2 years, to Dominion customers in Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, framed as long-term savings. Dominion will maintain its headquarters and its approximately 15,000 employees in Richmond.